if you ever stayed quiet even though you wanted to speak up, or if you've ever bent yourself into a version of yourself that's not really who you really are, this episode is for you. Because living to please everyone else is not going to give you any type of peace. It only robs you of it. Welcome back to the Sunny Side Up podcast. I am your host, Olivia Janelle, and I'm incredibly grateful for you to be here again. And today we're diving into a conversation that literally changed my life, and it's people pleasing. Why we do it, how we do it, and most importantly, how to break free from it and finally start living life for you. So let's just get right into it. Honestly, I didn't realize how deep my people pleasing was. It was a mess. And it wasn't until I actually started to go through my personal development journey, and it wasn't until I started to realize I was losing pieces of myself. I was the easy one to say, yes, I'll help you out, or even though I didn't want to because I'm a nice person. I'm the go with the flow type of person. Well, I used to be. And the one who made everyone else happy, even though deep inside I not necessarily was miserable, but I was hurting because that same love that I gave away, it wasn't being reciprocated. I always said yes, even though I meant no. And just to give you some kind of context, this is all in professional relationships and friend relationships. I'm more speaking on that than I am speaking romantically. I stayed even though I needed to go, and I shrank myself to keep peace instead of causing any type of disruption. At first, it's easier. It felt safer, but little by little, I started to realize that every time that I abandoned myself to keep somebody else comfortable, I basically was making a silent agreement that my needs didn't matter. And that agreement cost me a lot, years. And partially, it's because of my childhood and the unconscious beliefs that I adopted as a child because it's stuck in your nervous system and it's just part of who you are biologically. Just to give you some context, 95% of what we do is unconscious, is literally living in the past. So by me, it's safe for me not to say anything at all. It's safe for me not to speak up. Also comes in many forms. People pleasing means that you're not putting yourself first. You are not allowing your needs to come first, because we all have needs, we all have wants, and we all have desires. If none of those are being met, then you have to look on the inside. Now, you have boundaries. Set them. That is your standard. You putting yourself first should be your standard. And by you doing that, you will be much further within your life by not doing that. If somebody and it goes even so simple to this. A lot of people have road rage, right? If you allow somebody to just I guess flick you off or whatever, so be it. Whatever. It is what it is. And just keep on continuing to go, because if not, they're still going to do the same thing that they're doing. It was easy for me to say yes in certain situations when really I should have said no. And going back on the note of staying into a relationship longer than I should have definitely cost me so much time that I literally would have started my business. And it's not to point the finger to somebody else, but just to see where I was then to where I'm at right now, I would have started my business way sooner. I had somebody in my ear saying, a lot of negative things, and it just didn't help me. But regardless, I'm here today, and everything all happens for a reason. I'm able to even share that experience with you because possibly you may be going through the same thing. You never know. And that's why I do these things. That's why I share on my podcast. That's why I share stories and share experiences, because I know you are more than likely going through the same thing that I've experienced. And just how much has it cost me, set aside from that relationship, how much has it cost me to start actually living the life that I wanted to? I was hanging around the wrong people, not necessarily the wrong people, but people who really didn't have any drive for themselves. They didn't see much past their day-to-day of what they were doing. They couldn't see anything but alcohol and drugs, and I honestly just didn't want to be a part of that. I knew very early on that I definitely was a different person compared to everybody else, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that means that I'm not going to be doing the same thing as everybody else does because I know that I have goals I want to reach. Like, I can't show up every single day as that person did in the past. Drinking, going out, and really what is most valuable to me today is my time. And I wasted a lot of time in the past, and it has cost me a lot. So, here's what I learned about people pleasing. People pleasing isn't kindness. That is completely a lie. It's fear. It's fear of rejection, fear of disappointing other people, fear of being seen as too much or not enough. And that fear, it makes you perform and it makes you betray your own boundaries. That's crazy. It makes you live your life based off of other people's approval. I have to have some clarification here. I was bullied when I was in middle school. So in the 6th grade, that's really where a lot of like my turning points went through, right? And I just remember having a moment with myself saying like, I don't care about anybody else's opinion of me because I'm going to still be me at the end of the day. Although, yes, I know that I had that experience, right? I definitely was showing up to little be little enough but not too much enough to have attention towards myself, to allow it to for me to play it safe. And the reflection of that is really what didn't allow me to grow. Allowing me to please every other person, I wasn't pleasing myself, right? In the sense of I wasn't working on myself, I didn't have any personal development, and I hadn't had personal development since 2018. And when I think about that, and with the alignment of like where my life is and the certain awarenesses that I have, like I had to check in. Unfortunately, it was a very traumatic experience for me to even realize that I wasn't living up to my potential, but I'm thankful for that because that's what guided me here to today. The people who truly love you, they don't need you to perform. They just need you to be you. And I remember I used to perform for my family members to prove that I wasn't anything like my mother, and in the sense of like, the things that she did. And I got good grades to the point where I had perfect attendance in school from 7th grade all the way until I graduated high school, which is crazy. I'm very thankful for that though, because it's also a reflection of my work ethic. So, what really was my turning point? How did I start living for myself? I started off small. At first, it's the little things, saying no and having zero explanation afterwards, because no is a complete sentence. Pausing before I answered anything and check in to see what I actually wanted or what I needed, and allowing people to be disappointed without it being my responsibility to fix it. It wasn't easy, it was very uncomfortable, but it's also freeing. And you have to, it doesn't, you also have to remember it does not come overnight. It is a practice that you have to do. It's having those moments of very much self-care there, like, such as journaling or just checking in what you need as a child, because the child still lives within us and is still with us every day, which is so kind of cool, And just remember, because by me choosing myself, because every time I chose myself, even when it was scary, I was teaching myself that my feelings mattered, that I'm allowing myself to take up space. And this is just a gentle reminder to you, if you are someone who has spent a lifetime trying to earn love by being agreeable, I want you to know this. You don't have to trade authenticity for acceptance. The people who are meant to be in your life, they will not leave you when you stop performing. You're not here to make everybody comfortable, but you are here to be whole. And I experience this daily. And it's kind of a little bit creepy in a sense because I'm like, am I in my head about this? Or am I really this gleaming light that is walking through this room, this area? Yeah, that's me. Because a lot of people will look at me like, what the hell? What's going on with you? Like, hey, how are you doing? I'm amazing. How are you? People have never heard that before. Great. I'm okay. Doing fine. That's it, because they're conditioned to do that. But me, because living in a different state, I'm not pleasing anybody else. I'm just being myself authentically. Everybody's like, what? This is something that I've never experienced before. But just even that little bit, the size of a mustard seed, of impact that I can give to somebody else is so fulfilling. I can't even explain it. Having that feeling of you all saying that, oh, I needed to hear this message. This was a message. Like, thank you so much. I'm like, damn, I really am doing this. And thank you so much for letting me know that too. Because in here, I just want you to notice this, that when you take action, the universe rewards you. It's not necessarily in these small little things that you do. Yes, that does matter. It does. But just know that you're making a difference. Just know that those people who are in your life, they're going to be there when you stop performing. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. If this episode resonated with you, please send it to somebody who you love. Or if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel or podcast, leave a review or comment, give it a like or love, and let's keep growing and glowing together. Until next time, keep choosing yourself, keep shining, and stay sunny side up. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.